Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I decided that I would ask Grok AI, which would they invest in? Ripple private equity or MicroStrategy publicly traded stock? And I didn't prompt them for anything. I just said, if you were an investor, which would you invest in and why? And I had asked it previously about MicroStrategy and Ripple. And they give all the details on MicroStrategy being, leveraged and all that. Then they get down to the choice. My choice, if forced to choose, I would lean towards Ripple for its more conservative financial strategy, its potential in payment sector, possibility of significant upside if regulatory issues are resolved favorably. However, this choice is based on a preference for a business model that might offer less volatility and more diversified growth potential beyond just cryptocurrency speculation. So there it is. And you're in luck. My sponsor, linked to linqto.com. I just looked. They've still got a little bit, not a ton, but they've got a little bit. I think they've got a few thousand shares on the platform. You can also download the app if you want to go find out if you're accredited. Now, I think that going into 2025, there is no better video than this to remind you of. This is Tim Draper schooling Gary Gensler a few years back. I believe we're entering the "oh God, this thing's happening" stage.
You mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share, and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
feel the panic in their voices. But here's what always happens. The first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing. And they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along, the powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say, it's nothing. Don't ignore the man behind the curtain. This is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there. They're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen. And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's sue them. Or let's go get the government.
Gary Gensler, the government, let's get him to go after them.
Another thing they do, they adopt the technology. I think.
No, that's at the end.
No, that's at the end after we get rid of you, Gary.
Adopt this technology.
No, this is the last thing they do. No,
yeah, it's
after the press planning. They plant the press stories. They put out lawsuits. They create as much of a fuss as possible. They try to get their government friends involved. And then they go, oh, God, this thing's happened.
That's correct. And I put this out. There's a lot of Notre Dame fans out there, but I had to put it out because I'm from Georgia, hoping I can watch Georgia beat Notre Dame while I watch XRP head towards passing Ethereum. And here's where the market is today. We've been flat as we could be with a few ups, few downs over the last few days. I like it when I see this fear greed index start getting in the middle like that. That's how I know something's coming. And then we have this Good Morning Crypto. I like this list. What's your peak? Let's see. List of bullish catalysts in 2025. SEC case resolution. Ripple stablecoin. Expansion of tokenized assets. XRP ETFs. Regulatory clarity. New partnerships. XRPL smart contracts. U.S. Crypto Committee, Ripple IPO speculation, global XRPL adoption, CBDC integration, crypto market surge, XRPL tech upgrades, altcoin season. The one in the short run that I'm most bullish about is what's going to happen with the SEC case as these guys come in. I think that one right there could just get the dominoes going. Okay, now Galaxy Research. Now this is Mike Novogratz' firm, the guy that can't figure XRP out, but has to announce to everyone that he's shorting it. So all of their predictions involve Bitcoin and Ethereum all the way down to about, right? I mean, it's all Bitcoin, Ethereum. You can't, the same talking points, same playbook. You get down to here, this is where it gets interesting. There will be at least 10 stablecoins launched. Tether's long-standing market dominance will drop below 50%, challenged by yielding alternatives. They don't even mention real USD because Mike Novogratz has some beef with Ripple that he's still not saying. Then you go down here. This is where it gets, well, I'll show you where it got interesting. Two things. The first one, Anders L. points out, the SEC will open, this is from Galaxy, SEC will open an investigation into Prometheum, the abrupt emergence of a previously unknown broker-dealer that happened to specifically agree with the totality of SEC Chair Gensler's views on the security status of digital assets raised eyebrows in 2023, particularly when the unknown firm was granted the first of a new class of broker-dealer licenses. Republicans have called on the DOJ and SEC to investigate Prometheum for ties to China. And I pointed out that Prometheum and ETHgate go together like peas and carrots, just like Jenny and Forrest Gump. And then here's the other thing. Mike Novogratz, Galaxy Research, they did this disclosure that they own Bitcoin, Ether, and Dogecoin, okay? So they get Dogecoin. They've never been able to figure out XRP. But Dogecoin they get, just like they got Luna. They get that. That's how you know they're lying. All right. So, and I wanted to welcome MoonPay. Ever since MoonPay announced they were working with Ripple, I think they have found out, like everybody does that comes into the XRP community, they find out right quick that there is no community in digital assets that is stronger and more influential. That's the fact, Jack. They said XRP community is strong. Since we're called a cult all the time, I decided I would welcome them with a Jim Jones. I don't think he's drinking the Kool-Aid. I think he just passed it out to other people. What a weirdo. And Mikkel put this out, whoa, we're adding nodes and validators fast. And I said, I can remember, well, this is what people in the XRP community, they used to think, and I used to laugh all the time. They were always floating this idea that somehow all of us out here were needed to be running validator nodes in our basements, or this thing just wasn't going to happen. And I always laughed at that. I always thought that was such a naive take, the idea that all this was built and that they just need a bunch of us randoms out here running validator nodes. I still think that's silliness. If XRP is going to become a part of the financial system, you better believe, I've always thought, you better believe that financial institutions, government organizations, you name it, colleges, universities, they will be the ones running the nodes. People that have tons of money and incentives to be a part of it, they'll be the ones running nodes. It's not going to all live and die based on whether a bunch of random people out here building random projects or having validators. That's silliness. Paul Barron sees the perfect storm.
The other thing I want to get to is right here on Santiment's charts. This is showing several things here. One, of course, is the yellow. That's the total amount of XRPL trust lines. So remember, we saw this big explosion. Then a lot of old holders basically selling their XRP because they had seen profits for the first time. And then what happens back here in early December? Boom. Trust lines start exploding because people start understanding what is going on. Along with that, you also have the DEX volume exploding. You also have the active addresses continuing to increase. What you have here, guys, is a perfect storm starting to brew with XRP and where this technology is going.
XRP perfect storm. And then here he is talking about SBI Holdings.
And that's not really the end of it. You have to look elsewhere and from a global perspective. And we've talked about this before. SBI Holdings, their critical position, not only with Ripple, but just in the banking system within Asia. And I want to show something here. SBI Holdings, XRP is worth around, they have holdings right now. Let me kind of zoom in on that for you guys. Their XRP is worth around 1.6 trillion, $10 billion, and this is in yen. This is higher than SBI's market cap of 1.2 trillion yen. So they actually have more value in XRP than they do in the company value itself. So are they becoming the MicroStrategy of XRP? Well, there's some things that could possibly predicate that that is actually what's going on here. I want to show you something right here. This was a press release that they had. This was a letter to their CEO. And this came in from the Global Special Situations Fund.
Okay, we've covered that before, but you get the point. And then here is Crazy Max Kaiser.
Sure, Walt. Thanks for having me on. Nice seeing you. So Bitcoin fulfills the promise that humanity has been searching for ever since the beginning of time, and that is perfect money. And perfect money allows humans to travel through time and space effortlessly and to achieve their full potential. And for many years, we used various pebbles and stones, and then gold was popular for thousands of years. And then in 2009, Bitcoin came along, and it fulfilled this promise. It is effectively perfect money. And now what we're seeing is the realization that Bitcoin, when you compare it to other stores of value, like fiat money or property or fine art or any kind of store of value, even the stock market or the bond market, is superior. And so now we're seeing trillions of dollars leave these other stores of value and find their way into Bitcoin. And what's interesting right now is that we've entered into really a new Sputnik moment, because various nations are scrambling to build up the biggest Bitcoin stock that they possibly can, because nations are beginning to understand that this is the new prima franca of the 21st century. The entire global economy is being rebuilt on top of Bitcoin, which is really perfect money. So in the case of Russia and the recent comments coming out of the Kremlin, they seem to be now ready to enter the space race or the global Bitcoin race. The United States has said under the new administration, Donald Trump, that they want to buy 1 million Bitcoin.
I have a sneaking suspicion that there is going to be a moment where everybody gets shocked, and it's not going to be over Bitcoin. Okay, in DAIXRP.com, we're going to show you what Brad Garlinghouse is up to. That's one thing we're going to show you. And then we're also going to show you the chart guys are saying a lot of interesting things right now. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Come see what Brad Garlinghouse is up to behind the scenes. Here we go.